Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Merry Minty and welcome back to my ASMR roleplay of Oblivion. Not quite sure why I started off with It's Merry Minty. I'm pretty sure most of you know it's me. Hope you're all doing well, and I'd like to welcome you again to another episode of Adventures in Cyrodiil with dear Hadrasil here. So it's a nice summer's afternoon or evening. It's actually getting rather late in game now, and Hadrasil has been travelling for a little bit towards Skingrad, but he came across a ruin, an Ayleid ruin. Now it's getting a little bit late to be heading into the ruin, but at the same time perhaps delving in during the night might unlock some of the hidden Ayleid secrets. The Ayleids, after all, seem to favour the dark because most of their ruins of where they used to live are rather dark. If you enter the Imperial Palace, you can even see how dark it is. There isn't much light being let through, so perhaps Hadrasil is better off entering in the evening. So now might be just the right time to do so. Just going to quickly check if you apologise. Yes, that's fine. Just wanted to check. Perfect. Okay. So let's head round and try to find the door. This seems like quite a large ruin. Hadrasil's... Oh my word, it's a goblin. This is unexpected. Hadrasil was half expecting bandits, not goblins. Nonetheless, he's been vanquished. Does he have anything of interest on him? Oh, he's found another one. This scamp was certainly worth paying the money for. He's doing fantastic. He's now vanquished 2 goblins. And he didn't even have to try that hard. Fantastic. Slowly but surely, Hadrasil's conjuration skill is improving, and before long he can start summoning much more powerful creatures, hopefully ones that can do all of the work and he can just sit back and watch. Not that he doesn't mind getting his hands dirty with the fighting, but I suppose some of that wealthy elf, or wealthy dark elves, the way they live, it's sort of rubbed off on him a little bit. All of that wine and gluttony and having servants to do this, that and the other. He wouldn't mind a little bit of that sort of life. So there's some scales here. Elf cup. Slaughterfish fillet. Oh, just cooked. Yeah, certainly take that. Some alkanet flax. Some alkanet again and some more flax. And a chest. It's completely unlocked, perfect, and some fish scales, which is quite weird. So where exactly is the entrance to this Ayleid ruin? It seems to be eluding Hadrasil. It looks like it's up these winding stairs. Yep. Look how pretty the pillars are here, very pretty. Sort of deep turquoise, and I suppose that would be obsidian, perhaps? Some sort of dark red / purple mixture. So down into the depths we go, into the stone door to Miscarcand, or Miscarcand. Can't pronounce these words. I'm not Elvish, I'm afraid. And straight away, it's as we feared, rather dark. Something about the Ayleids in the dark, it's rather strange, and this looks to be blood. There's some blood splatters, that's a little bit unnerving. And we have yet another goblin who seems quite intent on fighting us. We're going to let the scamp do most of the work. He seems to be doing quite a good job. Now, as I said, Hadrasil isn't against fighting, of course. He's done so already, but he is quite a fan of conjuration, and obviously as a conjurer you expect your conjured creatures to do most of your bidding. So if he can sit back and watch, he certainly will. However, if he needs to get into the nitty-gritty, that won't stop him either. It's very pretty, these sort of shimmering little sparkles coming down from the top of the Ayleid ruin here. Sort of twinkling away, slowly descending and gently disappearing into the stone. I imagine that as they reach the bottom of the stone here, they dissipate. But it's still quite pretty to look up to. I wouldn't mind having this above my bed at night. This will certainly help me sleep. Just watching them twinkle, 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 twinkle with a little shimmer. Those beautiful crystals up above. But anyway, we're getting a little bit distracted here, aren't we? So it seems as though the goblins have taken over this ruin, and Hadrasil has noticed that when it comes to goblins, they are certainly not above killing each other. It looks even more disturbing down there, as though it's some sort of ritual. As though they've displayed him to sort of summon perhaps a demon, some sort of creature. Are the goblins perhaps trying to conjure up the Daedra by any chance? Certainly possible. There's some sort of hazy fog, or smoke perhaps, or mist. It's quite hard to tell. I can imagine that this Ayleid ruin is quite damp. Most of the building, or most of the construction is made of what looks to be quite heavy, thick stone, which I imagine would probably invite a lot of damp or moisture. We have a gate here which certainly is unlocked, and that looks like a zombie. Now, that's a little bit unnerving. Perhaps we'll come back this way. Not that Hadrasil is a coward or anything, but zombies are quite notorious foes, so perhaps we'll take on the skeleton here first. And when I say we'll take on the skeleton, of course I mean my scamp, who is doing a fine job so far. However, it looks like the skeleton is more interested in fighting us. Ah, perfect. Our dear scamp there managed to vanquish him for us before he dissipated himself. Hadrasil's quite interested in how these skeletons remain sort of whole. And what's holding their bones together? Is it the physical manifestation of their former selves? Or is it some sort of magical energies binding the bones together to construct the once owner of said bones, should I say? Well, it seems as though our scamp managed to defeat the zombie for us with its malt flesh as a prize, which we can certainly use for some alchemy. Again, we're going to let the scamp do the work here. Yes, there we go. Okay. I just thought I was going to watch from afar. It's almost like an arena. Place your bets, place your bets. Oh dear. Seems as though my scamp was vanquished. Not good. Not good at all. However, it looks like the zombie has not spotted us yet, because if you see in the left-hand corner, our sneak meter is still clouded. This particular zombie is certainly not weak. I think I do actually have a turn undead spell, which is it this one that I have? No. That's the Ancestral Guardian. This is Turn Undead. There we go, perfect. Seems as though the zombie is almost dead anyway, but perhaps we could use this so it can attack the other zombie. Look at that, perfect. Oh, it's not actually fighting the other zombie as such, it's sort of just standing there. Perhaps if we get the scamp to attack it. No. In actual fact, this zombie seems to be more interested in Hadrasil, which is not particularly what he was hoping for. But anyway, we have some more mort flesh, so we can't complain too much. I'm a little bit wary about using Starlight simply because it could attract more enemies. Can't quite tell whether the zombies did this sort of very eerie summoning circle or if the goblin did. A bitterfish goblin. I haven't heard of one of those before. Ah! Would you look at that? We have more Welkin stones. Perfect. Now they've got this beautiful little glow and these shimmering little sparkles. Perhaps once Hadrasil acquires a residence, we can put a few up in the corners and whatnot. Help him get to sleep at night, especially after seeing such horrors like these zombies. I mean, I think anyone would want to sleep well at night after seeing something like that. An iron gate here, which is only, by the looks of things, activated from the other side by a pressure plate, so we can't go that way. So the only way we can really go is down towards the zombie, unfortunately. Not particularly what Hadrasil wishes to do, but he hasn't much choice. Perhaps we can help our... Oh, perhaps we can vanquish the zombie ourselves. We have to exhaust our magicka just to get a little bit of its health down. My word, this is a strong zombie. Perfect. Defeated. More mort flesh to be rendered from it. Perhaps Hadrasil cut the flesh off with his wit splinter here. I can hear another goblin. Seems as though there's a little fight going on down there between the undead and the goblins. Seems they are having a war of who should own this place. I'm a little bit concerned because I do know from previous experience that these things can sometimes crumble. However, they didn't happen this time, so... Seems there's another gate in our way, but there's a doorway. There must be some way to activate this. Actually, I'm a little bit concerned perhaps that the recording has made this rather dark, so I'm going to cast Starlight for now so that everyone can see what's going on. I suppose all Hadrasil can really do is drop down. Seems as though we have a goblin trying to attack us anyway, so makes sense. In fact, we have more than one goblin. We have two. Although they were quite easily dispatched. They all seem to be carrying these scales, which is very odd. Whoa. Okay, excuse me, that was rather rude. Thank you. Terribly rude. A weak potion of sorcery. Certainly can't go wrong with that. Took a little bit of damage there, so it's probably best to heal. Don't know what's lurking around the corner. Okay, there seems to be a way out there, but of course Hadrasil's not just going to be heading out. He knows there's more loot to be had, and by Joe, there it is. More Welkin stones. Very valuable. Not just in terms of price, but to any mage, Welkin stones are very valuable. They can completely restore your magicka, which is of course of very good use to a conjurer who's constantly conjuring beasts from the Daedric realm and doing spells like Starlight to seek his way out of the darkness. Doesn't seem to be a pressure plate or a switch though around here for that gate. I have that dead skeleton that goblin managed to defeat, although they are quite easy to defeat, so it's not surprising. Is this going to lead us to... It's going to lead us to another area with another goblin. Let's see if our scamp can finish him off for us before we start. He was running away with us, but I can't quite tell what's going on here. Thank you, scamp. Looked as though the scamp was running away or running towards me with the goblin. I was a little bit concerned the goblin had managed to change him. Make him change sides. Become a traitor. Betray Hadrasil. Another Welkin stone here. An average locked chest. Well, we can certainly try and pick it. We have quite a few picks. So, I know not many people are fond of the lock-picking game in Oblivion. I'm actually more fond of this than I am Skyrim. Skyrim's lock-picking game is extremely easy. Definitely not luck-based, whereas this, or skill-based should I say, whereas the lock-picking in Oblivion is certainly more skill-based. It's still quite easy, and I do think that you shouldn't be able to lockpick unless you're a certain level or whatnot, but unfortunately this is quite an old game, and hello, what is this? A Mariach Jibia Old. It's not very good in terms of damage, in fact it pales in comparison to Wit Splinter here. But still, maybe we could fetch a little bit of money with it, with any luck. We have a block. Let's push it. Seems to have a sort of gem inside its centre. Shame we can't pick that out of our dagger here, but I suppose that's not going to be possible. It could, however, have opened the way for us to go further into the ruin. It seems we found that pressure plate. So, a quick safety save here. So I believe it was this way, wasn't it? Let's cast another star shine so we know where we're going. Don't want to fall down anywhere or whatnot. Yep, that gate has been moved, and we have a very beautiful door here. Looks like the silhouette of a tree. It's a stone door to Miscarcand Selvanua. Hopefully, deeper into the Ayleid ruins, there are much more treasures to be found. That or much more difficult foes. And we have some skeletons. Luckily, they are also fighting the goblins, so not to worry too much. As long as our scamp can defend himself, we can defend ourselves. In fact, I'm going to switch up to the staff now. I think Hadrasil would probably be more inclined to use a staff if it was at his disposal, and of course he has one, so I didn't actually mean to summon him, but okay. Supposed to do the star shine again. Seems to be something underneath this. A Vala stone cage. Now Hadrasil's heard about these. They are. I honestly thought that was our scamp for a second there, but look at that. You have ascended to level 2. You realise that all your life you have been coasting along as if you were in a dream. Suddenly, facing the trials of the last few days, you have come alive. which I certainly think is quite applicable to Hadrasil. In the last few days here in Cyrodiil, he's been shipwrecked, he's come across bandits, seductive sirens, warring goblins, many highwaymen, and it's, not to forget the rogue mage, and it's sort of had the adrenaline pumping. He feels more alive than he ever has. This adventure has started out very fun, whilst also a little bit monotonous at times. But nonetheless, he is growing as a person the further he continues on with his journey and adventure. So now that we're at level 2, we have our attributes to choose. Now, I said before that I had ditched Oblivion XP simply because it wasn't really working properly, and I also didn't think in terms of realism or role-playing it would work as well. So we have this level up system where basically we get to pick our how many points or what we'd like to put our points into attribute-wise, but we don't get to pick what points go into skills. The only skills that will receive points are those that you have worked the most with. Unfortunately, with Oblivion, of course, speed and agility will keep coming up because we constantly run and jump. I'm hoping that won't become a bit of a problem simply because we have no interest in agility and speed. But nonetheless, we're going to put our points into intelligence, willpower, and of course personality. So we have 52 now for intelligence, 46 for willpower, and 48 for personality. And there we go. Goblin vanquished. So as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by the goblin who decided to come out of nowhere and scare me. Hadrasil's heard of Vala stones. They are extremely valuable, extremely rare, and of far greater worth than Welkin stones. Now he's not quite sure what. Oh my! You did not die gracefully, did you? He's not quite sure what the effect Vala stones have. He knows Welkin stones will replenish your magicka, but he has no idea what Vala stones would do. Seems to be a block here, so if we're lucky... Oh, yes! It worked. It worked. Oh, look at that. A Vala stone. Look at the way it twinkles, just like the crystals up here, but it has a pale luminescence, a brilliant white, tiny little glowing spores dissipating in and out around it. So of course we are going to take that. It's one of our many treasures, hopefully, but probably the greatest one. He didn't expect to come across one of those entering this Ayleid ruin. It was certainly worth doing so. Seems as though we have another zombie. Quite rife in this Ayleid ruin. Perhaps these are the once now dead Ayleids. For all he knows, this could be one of his ancestors' closest friends. But probably not. Certainly could be an Ayleid though. Seems that this is an extremely large room. My word. This Ayleid ruin goes on for miles. Seems as though Hadrasil has his work cut out for him here. Take another Welkin stone, of course. Won't go without those. And our starlight has run out. We seem to have a skeleton ahead of us. And we seem to have another one trying to fire at us. I can't see him. Actually, oh my word. You came out of nowhere. Oh, he made me jump. It sounds as though the goblins are fighting with the undead some more. So we'll leave them to that. While I try and do the horrific lockpicking minigame. Although I prefer it, it is still quite frustrating, and I'm getting a little impatient. A little bit too ahead of myself. Perfect. Of course, basically, you have to wait until it slows down. Oh, light armor vest. Fortify light armor, 6 points on self. Oh, that is some good loot right there. Doesn't look as attractive. In fact, it looks quite unattractive, but you really need to butch up on your muscles there, Hadrasil, but still, if it's going to increase our light armor skill, that is far more important. We seem to be coming across quite a few puddles of blood. It's a little bit unnerving. But hopefully whatever caused those puddles of blood won't be too vicious. I say with hope. Oh dear, we have quite a strong zombie there. So me and my scamp are doing the hard work. Oh dear, I wanted to summon a scamp, not do another starshine. Oh, that was lucky. So he does look quite a lot like the goblins, which is why I mistook that goblin for my scamp earlier. I'll go back to starshine for now. Didn't mean to pick up that, but oh well. Oh, we can't. Hadrasil, as much as Hadrasil hates lockpicking, he can't turn down a large Ayleid chest. This could be filled with all sorts of Ayleid relics, or even just their fine jewellery. Oh dear. Oh, certainly not a fan of these mini games. Oh dear. Oh my. It's probably getting quite annoying. Okay, we'll try once more. Okay, perfect. We got there in the end. Really? All of that struggle for 3 measly gold coins. Hadrasil was not particularly impressed. Luckily this one is open. Seems as though we're going further into the depths. Here's hoping there aren't too many more zombies. There is another button though. Probably wasn't wise to just press that without trying to figure out what it went to, but with any luck it's nothing too sinister. Seems as though the goblin failed here. He has a shottle, which is interesting. It's probably quite like a scythe, I imagine. Don't need one of those, of course, but how are we doing in terms of charge? So we have 31 uses of this staff left. Hopefully that will be enough. More Welkin stones. There's another chest for potion. Oh, okay. So we have a skeleton there. Then we also seem to have a couple of zombies. I'm going to antagonise from afar. Oh dear. That wasn't intended. Still, nonetheless, we faced them off. Some more malt flesh for Hadrasil to use. There were lower level zombies, they were quite hard to kill as well, even if they are weak to fire. I'm not quite sure, I'm assuming that block opened up this door perhaps? Seems as though we're going deeper and deeper into this Ayleid ruin. Miscarcand Morimath. And what will Morimath hold for Hadrasil? It's quite funny. He finds it quite funny how the Ayleids names the different sections of their. I'm not quite sure what they would have got. Temples, I imagine. Simple to call them ruins now because they are, but at one time they were not. We have quite a few zombies here, which is most unsettling. Hopefully we can pick them off one at a time. Not have to fight them as one big horde, because that will be quite difficult. Seems as though there's something up there. We have some stone steps, but they're too low, which must mean that there's some button to activate them. There's another set of steps there, and then a dead end. So it looks as though Hadrasil is going to have to walk back and face off the zombies. They're probably defending the button. They must be deceased Ayleids watching over their ruined temples, clinging on to whatever form of life they can. They could be mindless zombies, of course. Perhaps the Daedra sought to punish the Ayleids for their greed. These zombies certainly are more interested in attacking poor Hadrasil here. But luckily we faced them off. Just going to take a quick drink. Okay. Seems as though our starlight spell has run out. We have to keep that topped up every now and then. We have another gate and, two chests and a very easy. Well, we'll pick this one. There is no sense in wasting magicka if we don't need to. I'm also a little disappointed how a very easy chest contains more gold than an average chest. Luck of the draw, perhaps. Aha. So there weren't any buttons for the stepping stones. What on earth is this? A great welkin stone. This is incredible. Now, Hadrasil has never seen anything of the sort such as this. It's utterly... The light is just pure. Hadrasil's almost finding it extremely hypnotising to stare at it with the resonating thum that seems to be vibrating outwards in the air, just producing such a brilliant hypnotising light. Hadrasil feels like a moth to a flame. He almost doesn't want to touch it for fear of damaging it, but there seems to be no more undead around, and of course... What was that? Oh, good God. Oh, it's a lich. Oh no. Hadrasil was not expecting this. It was a trap. The Ayleid set a trap. It seems as though his staff has run out. There's only one thing to do, which is to resort to magicka, or in actual fact, swords. How clever of the Ayleids to set a trap. Hadrasil should have known better. There's still the Lich to face though, and he looks almighty. In fact, Hadrasil is rather wary of getting anywhere near him. Good God, what sort of power does he possess? This is where some battle music would probably come in handy, but my word, this is a strong creature. Hadrasil was quite fearful of facing him off. Perhaps if the scamp can keep him busy, Hadrasil can... No, he's too clever for that. He's seeing right through Hadrasil's plans. Need to consume a potion, or Magicka's quite low. Perhaps if Hadrasil summons another scamp. Oh good God. He is powerful. That pretty much had Hadrasil on his knees. Oh my word. That was too close for comfort. Hadrasil's heart is racing and he can feel the adrenaline pumping through his veins. To face a Lich King. King of Miscarcand. Look, a once great and powerful Ayleid, destined to be a tormented toy of the Daedra, turned into a Lich. But was he turned into a Lich by force or by choice? Let's see what he has. He has Greater Staff of Silence. Silence in 15 foot for 15 seconds on target. Bone Mill and the Miscarcand Key. Well. Not quite the bounty that Hadrasil was hoping for, but... Okay, what's happened here? So we're a little bit over encumbered. Slightly... how can we... I've generally forgotten how to drop items in this game. Oh, there we go. Slightly unsurprising considering the amount of loot that we have managed to claim. So I'm going to leave the now dead King of Miscarcand to rest in peace, I suppose, at this point in time. Hadrasil feels a little bit stupid. He should have known better than to expect it to be that easy. This must have been where he was locked up. So we have a Welkin stone. What must be his tomb? And an Ayleid cask. Oh. We have a brass ring, a brass topaz ring and some gold. And to think the Ayleid King was sitting right in here that whole time. These are the casks. I see the door closed behind us. So Hadrasil, had he not defeated the Ayleid King, another trick. These Ayleids. So many traps set for any that dare to enter their sacred temples. Still, was certainly a very good trip. We can get rid of that bow, we don't need that of course. Okay, so if any luck, the Ayleid King's treasure room, I suppose, holds some... Oh dear. Okay, we can't get this wrong. We're down to our last 5 picks. Okay, that was. Hello there. A resist disease burgundy linen shirt. Oh, certainly we'll be taking that. And 2 potions of weak healing. Not the greatest treasure haul, however. Seems another path has been opened. And Hadrasil won't be too upset. He faced off a Lich King and lived to tell about it. Something that many would only dream of doing. Ah! Another one. So many of these. Finish him off, Scamp. Perfect. Good Scamp. I will assume that Hadrasil is summoning the same Scamp every time, so it would be only fitting to give him a name. Can't help but feel a little bit disappointed after facing the Lich King that we only came out with his staff. Oh no. Seems as though our exit's not going to be easy. If we even manage to escape. Oh dear. These zombies are not easy to kill, that's for sure. Oh, look at that. The double whammy. Good Scamp. Seem to be over encumbered again, which is not too unsurprising. I suppose we'll drop that. It's not worth much. Hadrasil's just hoping to leave now. After facing off the Lich King, he needs a good sleep. And since he feels as though he's defeated most of the, or at least all of the foes around this Ayleid ruin, he's probably going to spend the night in that tent. Stone door to Miscarcand. Oh dear, we have another average lock, which of course we're going to have to attempt. Hadrasil can't help himself. There could be good loot behind this chest. Behind this lock, should I say. Oh, petty soul gem bronze necklace. This certainly has been a very fortuitous adventure into the depths of the Ayleid ruins. Is that... Oh, that is the exit. Hadrasil is filled with relief. Ah, rain, fresh air, thunderstorms. How wonderful. Hadrasil's just going to take a minute to close his eyes and relax as the rain gently pitter-patters on his cheeks, gently cascading down to his chin and dripping to the stone beneath his feet. So refreshing to be out of that dark, dank Ayleid ruin. Oh, the Ayleid King, still giving him chills. Now all he needs to do is remember where the camp was. It must be where that fire has been lit, but that might mean that the prior occupants were not all defeated. Still, once they are defeated, Hadrasil has a nice warm fire to cook some food. No, it seems as though the Daedra or the Aedra have looked kindly upon him for defeating that Lich. The Aedra for ridding the world of that evil, or the Daedra for proving himself worthy. Perhaps now they might smile a little bit more upon him. But now he can cozy up in the tent where the rain is most certainly not coming through the top, and have a good sleep. What is the time? It's 11:40 AM. My word, he was in that Ayleid ruin all night. Terrible. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think for now that'll be it. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. A little bit longer than usual, but I'm sure these episodes' lengths will vary depending on what we do during the episode and what Hadrasil gets up to. But I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you feel relaxed, sleepy, or you have gone to sleep. If so, good night, pleasant dreams. But if you're heading out today, have a lovely day. And until next time, I'll see you. Goodbye.